of golf here in the country are uplifted. Very, very briefly, before we go back to Abul Ahmed, where is at Muthaiga Golf Club, do you think that Kenya is doing enough?
No, Kenya is not doing enough. If you go to places like England, golf has been demystified. It's been taken right down to the grassroots. It's not a rich man's game. That's why over the years you find that British golfers have done very well internationally. It's very easy. You've got to take golf away from the top golf clubs and into the grassroots. If you go to places like Eastlands and you want to play golf here in Nairobi, in Eastlands, where do you start from? How do you get introduced to the sport? How do you get to be taught the sport? How do you get to compete in the sport? How do you get to aspire and have realistic dreams of playing golf professionally? No, you can't. Why? Because it's a rich man's game in Kenya. And that's wrong. That's the wrong approach. We have to demystify golf here in Kenya. We have to take it to the grassroots, teach it there, and then start growing. I'm an ardent sportsman, but I've only ever played golf once in my life. And the person who introduced me to golf is not even a Kenyan. He's a Welshman. So you can see how our outlook to life is. If you want to go into golf in England, for example, the equipment is fairly cheap. You can buy golf shoes just from across the road from where you live. You can buy golf clubs second-hand from a charity shop. Where can you do that in Kenya? It's way beyond our means. And yet, normally, talent is found amongst the disadvantaged communities. So we have to take golf to the disadvantaged communities. And as the gentleman has just said there, we have to compete more often in golf. I used to do a children's program some years back. And when we wanted to feature children that play golf, we had to go to the Muthaiga golf clubs and that sort of neighborhood. We couldn't think of going into Kibera. We couldn't think of going into Mathare. We couldn't think of going into Kiambu, where they have very, very talented golfers, some of whom are caddies. And you get to learn that the caddies are even better than the actual amateur golfers, and perhaps even than the professional golfers. But they don't have a chance because the charges to become a member in a golf club are prohibitive. So you're left out. We need to demystify this game. And the president said the other day that golf should be taught in all primary schools. And so guys can start from an early age. That's a good attitude, yes? But we have to think of ways of institutionalizing it, ways of actually making it realistic, ways of actually improving our education facilities themselves, because there are people who are still learning under trees in the 21st century
and
Kenya.
Actually, that is the point that I was just about to mention, because you play golf, but at the same time, you don't have facilities.
You don't have facilities for learning.
Yeah.
So the whole thing has to be looked at holistically so that the child can develop in class and out of class.
All that thought for a little bit,
we
we will be engaging more in actually what is happening in this